Hare Hare.
चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 11th of September. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Chaviti Tithi. There are no Vaishnavas in the calendar, so we should move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so demigods are offering their praise to the Supreme Lord. So in order to get the knowledge and energy to carry out the functions whatever they have been administered in the universal affairs. So just recapping those shlokas again. So the prayers are, so it is always very nice to recite these prayers of demigods. नमामते देव पदारविन्दं प्रपन्नतापोपशमातपत्रं यन्मूलकेत यथयञ्जसोरु संसारदुःखं बहिरुच्चिपन्ति धातर्यदिस्मिन् भवीष जीवाः तापत्रयेनाभिहता न शर्मन् आत्मन् लभन्ते भगंस्तवाङ्घ्रि छायां स विद्यमताश्रयेम मार्गन्ति यत्ते मुखपद्मनीडैः चन्दः सुपर्णैः वृषो विविक्ते यस्यागमर्षोदसरिद्वरायाः पदं पदं तीर्थपदः प्रपन्नाः यश्रद्धया सुतवत्या च भक्त्या समृद्धमाने हृदेवराय ज्ञानेन वैराग्यबलेन धीरा व्रजेम तत्रेन्द्रसरोजपीठम् विश्वस्वजन्मसिति संयमार्थे कृतावतारस्य पदं भुजन्ते व्रजेम सर्वे शरणं यदीशा स्मृतिं प्रयच्छति अभ्रं स्वपुंसम् यत्तानुभन्दे सरिदेहगेहे ममाहमित्युडदुराग्रहाणं पुंसां सुदूरं वस्तोऽपि पुर्यं भजेम तत्ते भगवन्पदाब्जम् तान् वैः असद्वृत्तिभिः अक्षिभिर्ये पराकुतान्तर्मनसः परेशम् अतो न पश्यन्ति मृगाय नूनं ये ते पदन्यासविलासलक्ष्याः पानेन ते देव कथा सुधायाः प्रवृज्य भक्त्या विशिदासयाये वैराग्यसारं प्रतिलभ्य बोधं यताञ्जसान्विहुरकुञ्चजिष्ण्यम् तथा परे चात्मसमाधियोगा बलेन जित्वा प्रकृतिं बलिष्ठं त्वामेव धीराः पुरुषं विशन्ति तेषां श्रमः स्यान्न तु सेवया ते तत्ते वयं लोकशुश्रूषयाध्या त्वयानुसृष्टा त्रिभिरात्मभिः स्म सर्वे युक्ताः सुविहारतन्त्रं न शक्नुमस्तत्प्रतिहर्तवे ते यावद्बलिं ते धरामकाले यथा वयं चान्नमदाम यत्र यतो भयेशं ते त इमे हि लोका बलिं हरोन्त अन्नम् अदन्ति अनुहाः त्वं नः पुराणामसि सान्वयानं कूटस्थाद्यः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वं देवशक्तिं गुणकर्मयोनौ रेतस्त्वजयं कविमानतेजहम् ततो वयं मत्प्रभुका यदत्ते भुवात्मन् करवाम किन्ते त्वं न सुचिक्षुः परिदेहि शक्त्या देवक्रियार्थ यदनुग्रहाणम्. So these are the prayers of the demigods. So there are 13 shlokas starting from 3rd canto, chapter 5, verse number 39 to 51. So in the last shloka, demigods are offering Twamnaha Suranamasi Sanvayanam Kotastadhya Purushaha Puranaha Twamdev Sektam Gunakarma Yonav Retasvayayam Kavimadadejaham. Oh my dear Lord, you are the source of everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabho, like the Krishna is mentioning, I am the source of everything. Here demigods are mentioning, oh my dear Lord, you are the source of everything. You are the Adi Purusha. So Kotastadhyaha Purushaha Puranaha, and you are the oldest person, Purana Purusha. And there are no changes within you. Oh my dear Lord, we have all been created by yourself. Likewise, demigods are mentioning. And then further, they are mentioning in the last shloka. So because we have been created by yourself and for a particular purpose, so kindly please give the knowledge and also the energy so that in order to carry out the functions, whatever we have been created for that purpose. So they're asking the Lord for that purpose. It is not that they needed to have sense gratification because they have been created for the purpose. What is that purpose? It is for the pleasure of the Lord. And also, we would see further details on that one while going through. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 5, verse number 51. ततो वयं मत्प्रमुखा यदत्ते बभूवात्मन् करवाम किन्ते त्वं नः स्वचक्षुः परिदेहि शक्त्या देवक्रियाद् यदनुग्रहाणम् ततो वयं therefore vayam all of us matpramukaha coming from the total cosmos the mahatattva yadatte for the purpose of which bhuvivama we have been created from the mahatattva for a particular purpose atman o supreme self karvama kinte and we shall what shall we do for that so here kim what and karavama shall do say for your lotus to do service at your lotus feet Bhubuvima Atman Karavama Kinte, what should we do? So Tato Vaimat Pramukha Idatte Bhubuvivatman Karavama Kinte. So they're asking, we have been created from the Mahatattva, from the quarter, coming from the total cost, Mahatattva. So for a particular purpose, what should we do? What is that purpose? So they're asking. And also, Twamnaha Swachakshuho Paridehi Sektya. Twamnaha and yourself, Tvam Naha unto us. Swachakshuhu personal plan. Swachakshuhu paridehi sektya and specifically grant us and sektya with the potency to work. And whatever that plan, so kindly reveal that to ourselves and also give specifically grant us the energy and also the knowledge. So their demigods are praying. के तुमनः स्वचक्षुः परिदेहि शक्त्या देवक्रियार्थ यद अनुग्रहाणाम Deva, O Lord, Kriyadhe for acting yed anugrahanam from which anugrahanam of those who are specifically favored or we are desired to be favored we are meant to be favored by yourself anugrahanam we are meant to be favored by yourself of those who are specifically favored in different ways anugrahanam devakriyadhe yed anugrahanam. So likewise, demigods are praying. So tato vayam mat pramukha idatte bhuvivatman karvama kinte tvam naha sochikshu paridehi sektya dev kriyadhe yad anugrahanam. The translation. O Supreme Self, please give us who are created in the beginning from the Mahatattva, the total cosmic energy, your kind directions on how we shall act. Kindly award us your perfect knowledge and potency so that we can render you service in the different departments of subsequent creation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, it has got a long purport. Can I request Meena Mataji to read first paragraph and other devotees? Let me just check who are all there. Saranya Mataji, second paragraph, if Mataji is available. And Gauringa Mataji is the last paragraph. Okay, we shall start with Meena Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Meena Mataji.
divine plan behind them. The plan is to give the conditional soul who.
Mataji, so would you like to read from beginning?
Oh, sorry, it's not beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Hare Krishna. The Lord creates the material world and impregnates the material energy with the living entity who will act in the material world. All these actions have a divine plan behind them. The plan is to give the conditional soul who 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 so desire it a chance to enjoy sense gratification. But there is another plan behind the creation to help but there is another plan behind the creation to help the living entity realize that they are created for the transcendental sense gratification of the Lord and not for their individual sense gratification. This is the constitutionally position of the living entity. The Lord is one without a second and the Lord is one without a second and he expands himself into many for his transcendental pleasure. All these expansions, the Vishnu Tattva, the Jiva Tattva, and the Sakti Tattva, the personality of Godhead, the living entity, and the different potencies are different of sorts from the same one Supreme Lord, the Jiva Tattva are separated expansions of the Vishnu Tattva, and although the Jivas have different potencies, they are all meant for the transcendental sense gratification of the Supreme Lord. Some of the Jivas, however, wanted to lord to over material nature in imitation, in imitations of the Lordship of the personality of Godhead. Regarding why such proportions overcome the pure living entity, it can only be explained that the Jiva Tattva have infinitesimal, in, infinitesimal independence and that due to misuse of the independence, some of the living entity have become implicated in the conditional of cosmic creation and are therefore called Nitya Badh, eternal conditional soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Saranya Mataji, second prayer. Okay, if Saranya Mataji is not available, Prabhavati Sachi Mataji, are you available?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, Prabhu. The expansions of Vedic wisdom also give the Nitya Paddas, the conditioned living entities, a chance to improve, and those who take advantage of such transcendental knowledge gradually regain their lost consciousness of rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord. The demigods are amongst the conditioned souls who have developed this pure consciousness of service to the Lord, but who at the same time continue to desire to lord it over the material energy. Such mixed consciousness puts a conditioned soul in the position of managing the affairs of this creation. The demigods are interested leaders of the conditioned souls, as some of the old prisoners in government jails are entrusted with some responsible work of prison management, so the demigods are improved conditioned souls acting as representative of the Lord in the material creation. Such demigods are devotees of the Lord in the material world, and when completely free from all material desire to lord it over the material energy, they become pure devotees and have no desire but to serve the Lord. Therefore, any living entity who desires a position in the material world may desire so in the service of the Lord and may seek power and intelligence from the Lord, as exemplified by the demigods in this particular verse. One cannot do anything unless he is enlightened and empowered by the Lord. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 15th verse, Mattaham smritiyan jnanam apohanam cha. all recollections, knowledge, etc., as well as all forgetfulness, and are engineered by the Lord, who is sitting within the heart of everyone. The intelligent man seeks the help of the Lord, and the Lord helps the sincere devotees engaged in his multifarious services. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read the last paragraph, Mataji? Gaurangi Mataji. Okay, if Gaurangi Mataji is not available, Asha Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna. The the demigods the demigods are entrusted by the Lord to create different species of living entities according to their past deeds. They are herein asking the favor of the Lord for the intelligence and power to carry out their task. Similarly, any conditioned soul may also engage in the service of the Lord under the guidance of an expert spiritual master and thus gradually become free from the entanglement of material existence. The spiritual master is the manifested representative of the Lord, and anyone who puts himself under the guidance of a spiritual master and acts accordingly is said to be acting in terms of Buddhi Yoga, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.41. Vya- vi- Vyavasakyatnika buddhir ekha kuru nandana bahusaha hai anandascha buddhiyo vya vyavasayanam vyavasinam. Thus, end of Bhakti Vedanta purports of the third canto, fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Vidura's Talks with Maitreya. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing because demigods are asking, what should we do? So generally, as soon as in our homes, as soon as children are born, so immediately as soon as they grow, they need to go engaging in the service of their parents. So parents, my dear father, what should I do for you? So that is their prime duty. But nowadays, what the parents are doing, sending the children to school where children are in the schools are teaching the children engaging in someone else's services. It is in the interest of someone. It is like that is not the right thing. Of course, sometimes a parent can suggest the child, a father can suggest child how he can serve him. That is the right duty. But nowadays, parents does not have any knowledge that they send the children to someone's service. So that is abominable. So here, the Lord creates this material world and impregnates the material energy with the living entities who will act in the material world. So here, the Father, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he impregnates the material energy with the living entities who will act in the material world. All these actions have a divine plan behind them. So here, generally, a putra, why the putra is begotten by father? So again, the name itself, a father will be rescued from the hell called Pu. And the Tra means it is rescuing. Pu means it's a hell. Putra means a person who is going to rescue the father. That is the purpose. Carrying out the activities of the father. There is a divine plan behind them. So if the father is engaged in the devotional service, then he would automatically engage the son also in that service. But if he has not got any knowledge, then it's a different thing. So here, All these actions have a divine plan behind them, why the demigods are created. The plan is to give the conditioned souls who so desire it a chance to enjoy sense gratification, to who have got a desires, and it is giving a chance to enjoy the sense gratification. At the same time, fulfill the functions of the Father, the Supreme Father. So otherwise, the Lord has, there is no other purpose sending the children outside of the home and to work under someone else for someone's purpose. It is meaningless. It is completely meaningless. Why they are sending children outside to work for someone's purposes? So here, the first thing is children may have got desires, and then when the father engages, the two purposes: one, the desire of the father and mother, and to fulfill the desires of the children. That is the main thing. So here, to give the conditioned souls who so desire it a chance to enjoy sense gratification. But there is another plan behind the creation to help the living entities realize that they are created for the transcendental sense gratification of the Lord and not for their individual sense gratification. Okay, so here the father also engages the children in such a way that they fulfill their desires. At the same time, they work mainly for the purpose of the father. So that is the main thing. And here, main thing is to get free from the material entanglement. Then he would engage, once child understands the father's real purpose, what he meant, then child understands. He will develop love and affection towards the father and serve him. And when the father is eternal father, then there is no need to think anything else. When it is a material father, still he will be under the protection in this material world as much as he will protect the child, even though he is a old person. So there are so many of historical events in the Puranas. Okay, this is the constitutional position of the living entities. And the Lord is one without a second, and he expands himself into many for his transcendental pleasure. Eko Bahun Vidhata, again, so even though he is one, he expands himself for his transcendental pleasure. And all the expansions, the Vishnu Tattvas, Jiva Tattvas, and the Shakti Tattvas. So here in the Vishnu Purana, Vishnu Shakti he para prokta kshetra jnakya tata para. Avidya karma sanyaya tritiya Shakti rishyate. There are three energies. One is superior energy and inferior energy and marginal energy. The marginal energy is the Jiva Tattvas. They belongs to the marginal energy. That is called tritiya Shakti rishyate. And here the personality of God is living entities and different potencies. So are different offshoots from the same one Supreme Lord. Okay, they all belong to the Supreme Lord in one way, but categorized into different energies. And these Jiva Tattvas are separated expansions of the Vishnu Tattvas, and although the Jivas have different potencies, they're all meant for the transcendental sense gratification of the Supreme Lord. So again, back coming to Bhagavad Gita, Mamayvamsha Jivaloke Jiva Bhutaha Sanatanaha Manasastani Indriyani Prakriti Karshati. They are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They come to this material world with the senses, mind and five senses. Manasastani, the six, totally six in one sense, and then Prakriti Karshati, they struggle for the existence. But actually, they are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is their purpose? As a part and parcel, they need to serve the all for the transcendental sense gratification of the Supreme Lord. So some jivas, however, wanted to lord it over material nature in imitation of the lordship of the personality of Godhead. So this is where the sense gratification starts. I also wanted to imitate. The Lord is enjoying, he is all opulent. Why can't I? Then, as soon as that kind of thought comes into his mind, then he'll fall into this material world. Regarding when and why such propensities overcame the pure living entities, it can only be explained that the Jiva Tattvas are infinitesimal independence, and that due to the misuse of independence, some of the living entities have become implicated in the conditions of cosmic creation and are therefore called the Nityabaddhas or eternally conditioned souls. So these are called infinitesimal. Infinitesimal. Lord is infinite, living entities are infinitesimal. And Lord he is fully independent. He has got infinitesimal independence. Because once he comes, he cannot do anything, but he thinks that he is doing everything. Ahankar vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. But he cannot do that one. He does not have full independence. And because he has misused this independence, due to the misuse of independence, some of the living entities have become implicated in the conditions of cosmic creation. That's why Nitya Baddhas. कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे द्रव्य ज्ञान क्रियाश्रयाः बध्नन्ति नित्यरामुक्तं मायिनं पुरुषं गुणाः कार्यकारणकर्तृत्वे द्रव्य ज्ञान क्रिया आश्रयाः बध्नन्ति नित्यरामुक्तं बध्नन्ति he is always conditioned nityada even though he is Badnanti Nityada Muktam, even though he has got independence, but because of his desires sent lorded over material nature, he will be given Dravya Jnana Kriya Ashrayaha Badnanti, and then he will come and then he entangle in this material world. Even though he belongs to the spiritual world, he fall down because of his misuse of independence. Badnanti. So Nitya Baddhas are eternally conditioned souls. And the expansions of the Vedic wisdom also give the Nitya Baddhas, a conditioned living entities, a chance to improve, and those who take advantage of such transcendental knowledge gradually regain their lost consciousness of rendering transcendental loving service of the Lord. So this is once they taste in devotional service, and then who am I, and then why I'm doing, why I'm suffering. So this kind of things, where as soon as he is putting questions, he will coming nearer to the Supreme Lord step by step. And also when the devotees are wandering, if they come in contact with the devotee, gradually they will develop this knowledge and then regain their lost consciousness. But one has to question. This is called Atado Brahma Jijnasa. Who am I? Why am I suffering here? Unless one does not put that questions, he is always struggling in this material world. And here the demigods are among us the conditioned souls who have developed this pure consciousness of service to the Lord, but who at the same time continue to desire to lord it over material energy. So demigods are also having desires, but they are at the same time they also wanted to engage in the service of the Lord. So there are two things. How they can go? So unless they are unless they are engaged in the universal affairs to administrate this universe. So this is as soon as they get a problem, immediately go to the Lord. Either they go to Brahma, Shiva, or Vishnu, and then they offer their prayers. So that's why, because of their desires, sometimes there is another shloka in the Brahma's praise, Nati prasidati tatopachitopachara tatop Nati prasidati tatopachitopacharaihi aradita suraganaihi hridibaddhakamaihi. Hridibaddhakamaihi. The demigods have got hridibaddhakamaihi, so many desires. So Lord is not very much pleased with them when compared to the pure devotees of the Lord. Okay, such mixed consciousness puts a conditioned soul in the position of managing affairs of this creation. Okay, and then demigods are interested leaders of the conditioned souls. Even to become a Brahma, so one has to go through a pious life for 100 lifetimes. 100 lifetimes, he must execute all dharma properly. Then he can get a position of Lord Brahmas, and that he can occupy that position. So these demigods are entrusted leaders of the conditioned souls. As some of the old prisoners in the government are entrusted with some responsible work of prison management. So demigods are improved conditioned souls acting as the representative of the Lord in the material creation. So there was one person recently who is the son of a farmer's chief minister because he misused his freedom, and then instead he engaged in some kind of abominable activity, and then now he is put up into the prison. There he has, because he was a son of a prime minister, sorry, chief minister before. They have in the prison they have given him some kind of the clerk work. So, but still he has to go through that prison life. Okay, so likewise in this material world, all the demigods are also like that. Such demigods are devotees of the Lord in the material world, and when completely free from all material desire to lord it over the material energy, they become pure devotees and have no desire but to serve the Lord. Okay, so until that point of time, so without any material desires and simply service to the Lord, so they would be still here in this material. So therefore, any living entity who desires a position, so this Krishna consciousness is the Savai Nivritti Dharmena Vasudevanukampaya. Nivritti Dharma. There are Vairagya and then Raga. Vairagya Raga Upadibhyam Amnatu Ubhe Lakshanan. This is based on Purusha Subhav Vihitan Yatha Varnam Yatha Shrimam Vairagya Upadibhyam Amnatu Ubhe Lakshanan. One path is the Pravritti Marga, one path is the Nivritti Marga. One is increasing the enjoyment, one is the decreasing the enjoyment, two different paths. But in the Pravritti Marga, we do not see that where the end comes. But in the Nivritti Marga, it is very easy. So our Krishna consciousness, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, it is in the Nivritti Marga. So reducing all the desires into a zero and then transcend those desires, everything to further to serve only for the purpose of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. So one side it goes beyond Nivritti Marga. Savai Nivritti Dharmena Vasudevanukampaya Bhagat Bhakti Yogena Tirodate Senerihi. It is gradually. Tirodate, and then they will go back to the Godhead. So that is freeing oneself from all material things step by step. So therefore, any living entity who desires a position in the material world may desire it in service of the Lord and may seek power and intelligence from the Lord as exemplified by demigods in a particular verse, in this particular verse. And one cannot do anything unless he is enlightened and empowered by the Lord. So he needs to be empowered. First of all, he needs the knowledge, and also he needs to know the purpose, what he is doing. And then only he can act. And for that, again, Lord gives that one, Mattaha Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Sarvasya Chaham Vidhi Sannivisto Matta Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Vedesha Sarve Ahameva Vedjo Vedanta Krit Ved Videva Chaham. And also know, he must know the purpose also. Krishna is the only to be known after everything. For every purpose, Krishna is to be only the Yajna Bhokta. He is meant to be served. We are all to serve the Lord. And then Lord, for that purpose, Lord gives the Smriti and Jnanam and also Apohanam. And all recollections, knowledge, etc., as well as the forgetfulness are engineered by the Lord, who is sitting within the heart of everyone. So sometimes when the living entities forget about the previous life, I do not know what I was in last life, and now I am not able to recall, because if we recall it, and then we would not be very happy. So here in the Bhagavatam, Kapil Bhagavan says, Smaran Dirgham Anuchvasam Sarma Kim Nama Vindhate. So there it mentions that Tatra Labdha Daiva Tatra Smutir Daiva Tatra Labdha Smritir Daivad. karma janma setudbhavam. He would receive the remembrance of last 100 times, 100 lifetimes by the mercy of the Lord. And then smaran dirgham anuchvasam sarmakim nama vindate. And then remembering all those things, oh, did I do all these things? Oh my God, 100 lifetimes I wasted unnecessarily. Likewise, thinking, Sarma, he will not have any peace while he was in the womb of the mother. Sarma Kim Namabinit, how can he would receive Smaran Dirgam? Smaran Dirgam, he takes very deep breaths. Oh my God, like that. So likewise, when the new set of activities starting in this material world, again those will that matta smriti jnanam, they will sometimes Lord will give that intelligence and smriti and knowledge in appropriate time, so that the living would not be living the soul would not be devastated at once. So he will give that knowledge little by little by based on time, place, and circumstances. And also the problems that we receive in their day-to-day life, they will also be given gradually, not all at once. When as soon as we gain the strength and in the spiritual knowledge, they will come automatically. Okay, but they will come and they will keep going. So in such a way, one can get strength as well, and by at the same time, when who has got Brahma Sampatti, the knowledge of transcendental knowledge, he can easily overcome that, mitigate those distresses, and freed from this material world gradually. So the intelligent man seeks the help of the Lord, and the Lord helps the sincere devotees engaged in his multifarious services. Okay, so that is how sincere devotee understands. Unless it is a devotional service to the Lord, he will be entangled. So here again, the demigods are entrusted by the Lord to create different species of living entities according to their past deeds. They are herein asking the favor of the Lord for the intelligence and power to carry out their task. Similarly, not only the demigod, similarly, any conditioned soul may also engage in the service of the Lord under the guidance of expert spiritual master, and thus gradually become freed from the entanglement of the material existence. This is called Vidhi Bhakti. And then he will be guided by the spiritual master what to do. Initially, he will be given chance to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and follow the regulative principle. First, associate Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Ato Bhajan Kriya. They will come automatically when he is in the devotees association. And then spiritual master is the manifested representative of the Lord, and anyone who puts himself under the guidance of the spiritual master and acts accordingly is said to be acting in terms of Buddhi Yoga. We have been going through the Bhagavad Gita second chapter in the second cycle. The devotees they understand all these shlokas and also the purpose and what Krishna is saying. It is transparent. And here, Siksha Guru Ketadhani, when Krishna says Krishnera Swarupa, Siksha Guru Ketadhani, Krishnera Swarupa, Antaryami Bhakta Sreshta, Yei Dui Rupa. So outside is spiritual master, internally, the Lord, he directs the devotee to progress in the spiritual path. And again in the Buddhi Yoga, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Ekehe Purunandana, Bahusakahi Anantasha Buddhayo Avyasayinam. Intelligent person takes only the Buddhi Yoga, that is the devotional service, and then progress. He doesn't have to worry about what is that philosophy, what is other sampradaya, what they are doing, like that. But this, meanwhile, he will progress with only single point of object in his path. He doesn't overload his brain with so much of other stuff. That is a Yekeha, Kurunandhana. Okay, that is Buddhayu Avyasayinam. So with that one, the third canto, fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam is completed. The Vidura talks with Maitreya. Okay, so different reflections, but sometimes all devotees are intelligent and they can understand very easily. But we are just trying point by point, just to stay on that point and meditate little bit. and reflect within ourselves. That is getting a little bit of time, that's all. Okay, otherwise devotees are all intelligent, they know everything. So here, tato vai mad pramuka idatte bhuvivatman karvama kinte tum naha swachikshuh paridehi sekya devakriya de edanugrahanam. We are meant to be favored by the Lord. If we act on our personal, then we can do anything. Okay, so with that one, all demigod prayers are completed, and we will recite this fifth chapter on Saturday. I will send um, the poll in the group later on. Okay, we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Achyutananda, November 14th, 1970, Bombay. Okay, again it is a long letter. Can I request any other devotee to read this letter? Okay, otherwise I shall read. It's a long letter. My dear Achyutananda Maharaja, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated October 29th, 1970, and noted the contents regarding taking introduction from some persons to their friends for making life members. Don't depend on others' introduction. Do your own work. Regarding your feelings of disruption to your preaching program, since others have come in, when I was in Los Angeles, you repeatedly asked me to send at least 10 men. Now the men have come and you say something else. You want to have Krishna alone. You want to have Kirtana alone. So which point shall I accept? So regarding the validity of the Brahmanical status, as we accept it, because in the present age, there is no observance of the Garbhadana ceremony. Even a person born in Brahmana family is not considered a Brahmana. He is called Dvijabandhu or unqualified son of a Brahmana. Under the circumstances, the conclusion is that the whole population is now Sudra. As it is stated, Kalu Sudra Sambhava. So for Sudras, there is no initiation according to the Vedic system. But according to the Pancharatrika system, initiation is offered to a person who is inclined to take Krishna consciousness. During my Guru Maharaja's time, even a person was coming from Brahmana family, he was initiated according to the Pancharatrika system, taking him to be a Sudra. So the birthright Brahmanism is not applicable at present moment. The sacred thread inaugurated by my Guru Maharaj according to Pancharatrika system and Hari Bhakti Vilasa by Srila Sanatana Goswami must continue. That must continue. And it does not matter whether the priestly class accepts it or not. When my Guru Maharaja Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada introduced this system, it was protested even by his inner circle of god brothers or friends. Of course, he had actually no god brothers, but there were many disciples of Bhaktivinoda Thakura who were considered as god brothers, who protested against this action of my Guru Maharaja, but he didn't care for it. Actually, one who takes to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly immediately becomes situated transcendently, and therefore he has no need of being initiated with sacred thread. But Guru Maharaj introduced this sacred thread because a Vaishnava was being mistaken as belonging to the material caste. To accept a Vaishnava in material caste system is hellish consideration, Naraki Buddhi. Therefore, to save the general populace from being offended to a Vaishnava, he persistently introduced the sacred thread ceremony, and we must follow his footsteps. Regarding Dr. Sain's grandson's theory of species, if they are species, the species horse is a kind of species. It draws a cart. The ass is another kind of species. He carried load. So ass is never engaged for drawing a cart. If Brahmanas are a species and Vaishya and Sudra are other species, why do we see that sometimes a Brahmana does a Sudra's work? We have got many Negro disciples and they are worshipping the deity. So why they should not worship the deity? Krishna says he accepts the service even from the Papa Yoni, those who have taken impious births. Actually, Krishna does not say that caste is determined according to species, but according to the quality of work, the divisions of society are made. Narada says one must be judged according to his qualification, even if he is in a different class or species. Still, he should be accepted according to the qualities which he exhibits. Brahmana, etc. Sridhar Swami says birth is not so much important as quality. You have very wrongly remembered something about Sridhar Swami's view. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that if one is Vaishnava, immediately he becomes qualified for executing Vedic rites. About this verse, Srila Jiva Goswami remarks that Brahmana awaits the sacred thread ceremony, but a Vaishnava is qualified to execute the Vedic rites without waiting for the sacred ceremony. The real fact is that because of non-observance of the Garbhadana Sanskara in this age, there are no real Brahmanas by birth at all, and even they cannot be called as Dvijbandhus properly because there has been no such observance for a long time. Kalu Sudra Sambhava. The claim of Brahmanism by birthright is a false display of material situation only. It is our duty, therefore, to train all kinds of men up to the standard of qualified Brahmanas, initiating them as such by qualification in accordance with the above authorities, so that they may go on progressively unhindered in their march back to home, back to Godhead. This system introduced by my Guru Maharaja is a chance for all the members of the society, scientifically based and applied apart from the exploitative sentiment of birthright caste system to become actually situated on the transcendental platform. The literal meaning of the term Brahmana is one who is Brahmabhuta or on the theoretical stage of uh, Brahmajnana, since it is that one progresses from the stage of Brahmajnana to the stage of knowledge of Paramatma and then to knowledge of Bhagavan. One who has come to the first stage, Brahmajnana, is automatically a Brahmana, fully qualified as such. So for a Vaishnava who has come to the highest stage of knowing Bhagavan, naturally he has already established his qualification as a Brahmana. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so in this part, it's a long letter in this one. Prabhupada is mentioning Achyuta Maharaj. So one thing is, whatever spiritual masters that needs to be carried out. And then if we say that if I have got 10 devotees, I can do preaching work more. And then later when man comes and he says something else, then which is the right thing. So maybe there may be time, place, and circumstances, but things may be changed. But one has to accept the initial instruction given by the spiritual master. So that is the important thing. So here which point is right from your, so you need to reflect. And again, question about the Brahmanical status. So here, Varnashrama Dharma, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, it is the Varnashrama Dharma. Atah Pumbed Vijisreshta Varnashrami Vibhagashaha Swanistasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, only for the pleasure of the Lord. If Vaishnava, he is always doing on that level, then he does not fall into this material Varna and Ashrama. It is for only on the material stage. Varna Ashrama Dharma is on the material stage, not transcendental. A devotee of the Lord, Krishna devotees, Krishna consciousness, it is on the transcendental platform. It is separated jati. In the Brahmavayutta Mahapurana, it is described that Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Sudra, all this stuff, it is on the material platform. But whereas Vaishnava, that jati is a different one. It is on the transcendental platform. They work only for the pleasure of the Lord, not for their sense gratifications. So knowing that, so here Kapila Bhagavan's statement is Aho bata sopato ato garyan jihvagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuhu sasnaraja brahmanuturnam ghunanti ete. A person who is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra on his tongue, he has already performed all the Vedic rites, sacrifices, and pious activities, everything completed. So that Devahuti Mata mentions to glorifying Kapila Bhagavan. Yannamadeya Sravananu, Yannamadeya Yat Prahvanadya Shravanad So likewise, whoever is chanting, it is very beautiful shloka once again, the prayer shloka to that one. That's why Vaishnava is considered the topmost. So this again, it is based on the Pancharatrika and Hari Bhakti Vilasa. So this is also strengthened by the Bhagavatam and all our scriptures. Even the animals also being onto the transcendental platform by Yad Adbhuta, by the परायणशीलशिक्षाः यद् अद्भुतक्रमपरायणशीलशिक्षाः तिर्यग्जनापि किमुसधारणाये ते वै विहन्ति अतितरन्ति च देवमायं स्त्रीशूद्रकोणशबरापि पापजीवाः यद् अद्भुतक्रमपरायणशीलशिक्षाः just by training in the Krishna consciousness. Tiryak Janapi Kimusupadharanaye. Even the lowest animals also, there also, but why not the people? So here, this is the Krishna consciousness, training the people here by the practice. This is called Vidhi Bhakti, and then gradually Raganu Bhakti will be developed. It will all goes in the transcendental platform. It will skip the Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma is the gradual, but here this is also gradual, but directly on the transcendental platform, always working for only Krishna. Okay, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he introduced it, and even though there were some resistance, but he continued it based on the Sastric strength of the Sastric injunctions from Sanatana Goswami, that Hari Bhakti Vilasa, and Pancharatrik Vidhi from Narada Muni. That way, he is always in the transcendental platform. Vaishnava is a separate jati, separate category. Okay, that Prabhupada is explaining to Achyutananda Maharaj. Okay, so that is again taking the Brahmanism. It is not Brahmana. Again, what is the Brahmana stage? Again, Krishna says that Krishna, he is always respect the Brahmanas. But for the Brahmanas, Brahmabhuta stage, they must be Brahmabhuta, who must be having the Brahmajnana. And what is the Brahmajnana? Everyone are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. They need to render service to the only the Lord without any material desires. That is real Brahmana. How many real Brahmanas are existing? That we need to question. So that's why Krishna consciousness, you do not have to speculate anything. Here everyone are working only for Krishna's sake. It doesn't matter you are a Sudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, or Brahmana. So everyone are working only for the pleasure of Krishna. Shri Radha Gokulananda, not for anyone else. So that's why it is transcendental platform. So there everyone is properly trained and give qualification. And then in this platform, even the one falls down, Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashpratyantim Nigachati, even though he falls down, immediately he will be recovered in due course of time. Sadhurev Samantavyaha. One has to treat him as sadhu only because he is continuously chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra again. Sometimes there may be different reflections from different people, but because he is still in the same path, one has to treat him as a sadhu. Okay, so likewise, Krishna also assures whoever is in the Krishna consciousness. Okay, likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here in this one as a summary. Okay, it's a long letter. And dear devotees, if you've got any other takeaway comments or reflections in your bullet points, kindly share. Okay, so if there are no further comments, okay, to summarize, this is letter that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, and from the announcements point of view, so today is Thursday at 8 p.m. we have got Krishna book ready at 8 p.m. Okay, that's all from announcement side from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, thank you so much. We shall conclude. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन। हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री